Doctor, there's no chance that this could be fatal, is there?
If we could get the fever down, avoid complications like pneumonia.
Not exactly the answer I was looking for.
Look, I don't expect to lose that little boy, but it would be foolish of me to give you any guarantees.
Oh, my God.
No, I'm not being pessimistic. I just don't want to raise any false hopes in case the odds work against us. Right now, they are in our favor.
They are, huh? And do you really believe that, or are you just saying that because I'm standing here?
Mr. Swift, there is a Mrs. Swift, isn't there?
Yes, there is. Why?
I think it'd be a good idea to let her know about this. Don't you think?
Yeah, she's right. Raven ought to know.
Logan,
What?
telephone's down the hall.
Yeah, thanks.
This is horrible. She made it sound so awful.
Yeah, doctors are like that. They don't like to make promises, you know?
There's Miles. Miles,
Oh, for heaven's sake, what are you all doing up here in pediatrics?
it's Logan's son, Miles. He was brought in a short while ago. He has a dangerously high fever, and they're quite worried about it.
Oh, dear. Sorry to hear about that.
Steve and I were babysitting when it happened.
Miles, do you think there's anything you can do to help?
Well, who's the doctor?
Dr. Santos.
Ah, well, that's all right. That's the best. Isn't Logan here?
Yeah, he's here. He's making a phone call. He's calling Raven.
And Dr. Santos thought that she should be informed.
Well, I guess she is still the child's mother.
I'm not angry. What do I have to be angry about?
Because your friend Mallory turned you down. You don't like being turned down, do you?
Don't wipe that off. You look much better wet.
I was right, wasn't I? You asked Mallory here to be your new partner in crime.
I asked him here because I like him. Because he's very attractive and I find him very sexy.
But because he's also the chief of police, and it's very convenient to have the chief of police on your side when you're contemplating a crime.
You're just jealous. I saw your eyes turn green when he came down, and don't tell me it was the lights.
What did he say? Come on, you can tell me. Did you ask him to help you kidnap your boy?
No!
Yeah, that's too brazen even for you. I know what it was. You asked him to call up those babysitters of his. That's it, isn't it?
Why don't you go dance with your little friend?
That was it, wasn't it? Of course. Three of his finest are guarding Jamie, and you asked him if he would call them off for you. That's it.
Elliot!
Don't you dare.
Oh, what's the use? I'm never gonna get my baby back. Everybody in Monticello is against me. Logan is the district attorney. The police chief is his best friend. Nobody will stand by my side, not even you.
Oh, come on. I'll be by your side, honey. I'll be by your side. But as a lover, not as a kidnapper.
Elliot, it's not fair. Look, I'm the baby's mother, and I can't even do anything. It just makes me sick!
Oh, you baffle me sometimes, you know that? Sometimes you're as obvious as a kick in the head. And other times you're as How hard to understand is this paint?
You never believe me. Can I have another drink?
No, that's enough. You've had 3 too many already. Come on, let's go. Let's go.
I can't. If I go home, I'm gonna have to look at that empty crib.
Oh, you shouldn't have bought the damn thing. It was premature. It was obvious.
I am not going to be happy until Jamie is in that crib. Do you understand? And if you won't help me, who will?
Raven, look, I'm tired of talking about that. Let's talk about something else. Hey, honey, look, I got a great idea tonight. You know what? I'm gonna make us all rich. I'm gonna turn the unicorn into a disco, into a money-making machine like this. How do you like that? Huh? Then you'll have your own private club. I'll tell you what, I might even call it the Raven. How do you like that?
Will? I'll help you. I'll help you. We can design the thing together, okay?
Yes.
Elliot, let's do everything together.
Including kidnapping.
You don't love me.
Oh, I do. That's why I'm taking you home right now. Come on, let's get out of here.
I don't know how you happened to pick Dr. Santos as Jamie's doctor, but you couldn't have made a better choice. I've heard nothing but praise for her since she joined the hospital staff.
I'm glad to hear that.
She certainly seems very competent.
She was very quick to come to the hotel when we called.
Does she do miracles? Sorry.
Logan, I'm sure that there's a whole staff of doctors in there figuring out what to do for Jamie.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Excuse
Did you
me.
call headquarters?
Yes, Deborah, we have to report in for duty.
Well, go on, get going. You shouldn't be hanging around here anywhere. Goes for you too, Geraldine. You got a station to run.
I certainly don't intend to let you stay here alone.
I think it's going to be quite some time before we have any more word on Jamie.
Well, I'm not going to leave until I hear it. Steve, Deborah, you know how grateful I am. I really appreciate it. Thanks.
Logan, don't worry. Everything's going to work out all right.
Logan, we're going to call the hospital later and find out how Jamie's doing.
Thanks again.
I'm afraid I got to get going myself. I'm going over the cars. April's staying there. This is her last night before she picks up Julia. She doesn't know about this, does she? No.
No, she doesn't. And maybe it's just as well. She has her own baby to worry about.
Okay. I guess that just about does it. That means I don't have too much to pack in the morning, and I'll be able to get to the hospital bright and early. That's good. That's silly. I don't know. I want to thank both of you for what you've done, you know, for your generosity and your kindness. I really do think it was best for me right now to stay with you.
Oh, Ava, we're just glad that you did.
Even though we did take you away from your brother and sister-in-law.
Oh, listen, I really think... No, I know that it was, well, it wasn't right for me to be there right now. They needed some time, you know, between themselves just to work things out. And from what I can see, things have never been better.
Oh, you're sure that Nicole will be coming by tomorrow?
Yes, that's what she said. She doesn't have to be at the station until noon.
Okay, that's good. However, if there's any problem at all, give me a call, all right? I'm sure I can juggle my schedule a little bit.
Thanks, Nancy, but I really don't think that'll be necessary. If need be, I can take Julia home by myself. I mean, let's face it, she doesn't weigh that much.
Oh, no? I'd heard that she'd almost doubled in weight since she was born.
She has. She's gorgeous. All right, look, I know that it's usually expected that a proud mother will boast about her beautiful daughter, but no, really, I'm speaking very honestly. She is beautiful. I just hope that the ride home won't be too much for her.
I don't think it should be. It's not that long a ride.
Yeah, you're right. I'll tell you, I just can't believe we are finally going home. I just keep thinking about Draper, you know, and, well, how happy he'd be, how proud.
Well, why don't you want a baby nurse?
Well, because I just don't feel that it's right to have someone else taking care of my baby when I am perfectly capable of doing so myself.
Have you been reading all the manuals?
I have read absolutely everything that has ever been written. I have also forgotten absolutely everything I've read.
Well, it'll all come back when you bring Julie home.
Oh, I certainly hope so. Oh,
Oh, I'm sorry. By the way, I forgot to tell you that I put the mail in the drawer over there.
Oh.
I didn't really know what to do with it.
Thank you. I was wondering. Did you
I'm
get any
sorry.
mail?
I should have said something earlier.
I've got it.
Okay.
Here he is. Hello, Miles. Come on in.
Miles, hello.
Ah, that's a little Mother Scott.
Oh, she's just fine. Oh, listen, is it still all set with Nicole about tomorrow?
Yeah.
Miles, did you get the name of a pediatrician? Good
Oh, as a
one?
matter of fact, yes. I just saw her at the hospital before I left. I suppose I ought to tell you why.
What do you mean?
Well, it's Logan's little boy, Jamie.
Why? What's wrong?
He's got a respiratory infection. It's hit him pretty hard.
Listen, do you think I should go over there?
Well, I don't know. He had an awful lot of company when I was there. Steve and Deborah and Geraldine. Of course, the two cops had to report for duty. And when I left, Logan was trying to convince Geraldine to go on back to the station.
Well, then that settles it. I think I better go over there. Excuse me.
Well, that's a fine thing. I come over here to see you, and all of a sudden you're rushing off. That kind of thing gives a person a complex.
No, Miles, listen, you know how much Jamie means to me, and Logan was straight. Well, Logan is my friend.
All right, I understand. You want to lift over there?
Oh, no, I can drive myself. I'm sorry. I hope you don't mind my running
no,
out
it's
like
all right.
this.
As a matter of
Please.
fact, I probably should get back to the hospital myself. Awfully short visit, isn't it?
Well, another time, Miles.
Listen, Nancy, I'll give you a call, all right? As soon as I find anything about it.
Would you do?
Sure.
Thank you.
Okay, see you later.
Right.
Drive carefully.
Uh-huh.
Well, you're all alone much sooner than we expected.
These days have been full of so much pressure. When's it gonna get better? Mike, honey, it's from Lee. It's from my brother.
It's an occasion, isn't it? Must have been at least 6 months since we've heard from him.
Oh, gosh, around Christmas time? As Jerry usually writes the letters. Oh, okay.
What's he say?
Oh, okay. They're, fine. And, they were in Lima, for some kind of a ceremony at that hospital that the complex that he designed. Do you remember that years ago?
Was the letter from Lima?
No, Rome. They've been on a holiday for the past 2 weeks, and now he's going to start on a new project in the Middle East.
Oh, boy, your brother really gets around, doesn't he?
Yes, he takes to that. I'm sure Jerry does too. You know, I often wonder what effect that kind of life has had on their boy.
Do you realize we've never even seen their little boy except in photographs?
Hold it.
What?
Oh, Mike. Okay, that can be corrected very soon.
Are they coming to Monticello?
No, not they. Kelly is.
All by himself?
Honey, listen, don't take this too hard, but Kelly is 18.
No kidding. Well, the last time we saw a picture of him, I think he was in knee pants.
Oh, no, well, not quite. He was younger, certain, but... All right, wait a minute, listen. The idea for this pilgrimage came from Kelly himself, but of course you have to realize that after living in Peru, Paris, Rome, London, Marrakesh, and Macau, the United States must seem like an exotic place for Kelly. Of course, we're happy that he chose our hometown, and we know the reason why. He's heard so much about his Aunt Nancy and Uncle Mike over the years that he probably built an awesome fantasy around you both. I hope you won't mind putting up with him.
Does it say how long he's going to stay?
No. No mention of that. Wait, there's this P.S. here. My gosh, that's a scribble. Hope you can also put up with Kelly's unusual talent.
What kind of talent?
I don't know. That's the end of the letter.
Well, does it say when he's going to arrive?
Lee wants us to cable them and let them know if it's okay. Is it?
Since when have you been able to refuse your brother anything?
Oh, honey!
Besides, I got used to having a border around the house.
Oh, you're wonderful. Oh, I'm so happy.
You certainly don't waste any time, do you?
This drive has made me disgustingly sober.
You did nothing of the sort. You're abysmally soused, darling. And you know that you're not at your best that way.
I need a drink. When you need a drink, you get a drink.
Well, I always have a drink when I have a reason, and that's a celebration normally.
Well,
Sit down.
I do have a reason because I want to forget something.
Oh, yes, here we are. The tragic heroine. That's the part you like to play. You see yourself as this, what's it, poor, frail creature all alone against the brutal world, do you?
They're winning, Elliot. Don't you understand? They are victorious. It just makes me so mad. First they take away Jamie. Now they're going to take him away for good. And I know exactly what Logan's going to do. He's going to go to courtroom and he's going to prove that he's Jamie's father. And then, as soon as he establishes paternity, I don't have a chance of winning in that courtroom.
Well, you can still put up a little fight.
I'll lose. I know I'll lose. Because he's going to prove to everybody that I was a rotten mother. And he's going to show that I abandoned my child with that stupid letter.
Oh, yeah, the famous letter you gave to April and Draper. Yeah, permission for them to keep the child.
And she still has it, I know, because I asked her. And if Logan gets it, then I'm finished.
Oh, come on, don't be so depressed.
And they'll never let me see Jamie again, I know. I just can't stand it.
Oh,
I can't.
Oh, Blackbird, you know, I just can't figure you out. You know that.
This is getting a little silly, you know. You really ought to take off. It could be hours before we know anything.
Just don't like the idea of leaving you here alone.
I'm hardly going to be alone. The place is full. There's nurses, patients, doctors. They have lots of company.
Busy?
Oh, Geraldine, hi.
Hi.
Logan, I'm sorry.
What are you doing? How'd you find out about this?
Miles told me. Have you heard any news?
No. Still got him in the emergency room. Running tests, trying to get the fever down. It's sky high.
Well, now that you have someone to stay with you, I think I can be getting along now.
Okay.
Oh, Logan.
Yeah?
Perhaps you'd better try Raven just one more time.
I called her half a dozen times, Geraldine. She's not home.
Well, then perhaps I'll try her myself. She really ought to know what's happening. No matter what. That is her son in there. I'll be in touch later.
Sit down.
Can I get you a cup of coffee? Can I, is there anything I can do?
You want to hold my hand? Oh, I was teasing. No, you're being here. That's a lot. I'm very grateful.
My God, Logan, your hands are like ice. Are you all right?
I'm okay. I'm fine. Scared, that's all. Afraid of what's going on in there. I don't know what I'd do if anything happened. I think I'm prepared for almost anything. Anything except that.
Hello?
Raven, thank heavens you're home at last. It's Geraldine.
What do you want?
I'm calling you to tell you about Jamie. I'm afraid he's been taken ill.
What?
Raven, I'm at Monticello General Hospital in the pediatrics section. And I think it might be a good idea if you came over as soon as you can.
Is this serious?
Well, Raven, yes, it just might be that.
What happened? What did those people do to Jamie?
Nobody did anything to him. He was simply taken ill. He has a respiratory infection of some kind, and they're trying to get the fever down.
Don't you tell me it wasn't neglect, because I'm not going to believe
Raven,
that.
I am not here. I did not call you to argue with you. I simply called you to tell you that Jamie is now in the pediatrics section of Monticello General Hospital, and we all thought you should know.
Who is we all?
Dr. Santos, Logan, and I. Logan is here now, waiting for further word.
Don't you let my baby die. Do you hear me?
For heaven's sake, Raven, pull yourself together. Shall I tell Logan that you're on your way?
Yes, tell him I'll be right there. Goodbye. Give me that coat.
Oh, boy, take it easy.
I'm going to the hospital.
Hey, honey, you're in no condition to go anywhere.
My baby is there. My baby is dying.
I heard you, but you're not going to do him any good if you travel while you're in this condition.
Didn't you hear what I
what you said, honey. I heard. But if you take a rest and take a nap, you'll feel better.
Why does everything always have to go wrong for me? If he dies...
Oh,
if he dies, it's gonna be the end.
Baby, they'll pull him through. Don't worry.
My mother will blame me for it. She'll say it's all my fault.
What does your mother got to do with it?
You idiot! She gave all the money to him. She gave it to him, to Jamie. And that's why I have to get him back, because he's my future. And if he dies, oh God, if he dies, I might as well just die too.
That's it for me. I am going home.
Lucky you.
Hey, you want to go to a movie tonight?
Let me see how I feel later, okay?
Okay, I'll give you a call later in the day.
Okay.
Dr. Santos to emergency. Dr. Marie Santos to emergency.
Sorry. You know, if you keep sleeping in this position, you're going to have a terrible backache.
What time is it?
7:30. We could have found you a bed someplace.
It's all right. I'm okay. You know anything about my son?
No, to be honest, I'm afraid I don't. I don't think there's been any significant change since last night, though.
No significant? What does that mean? Is he worse?
Oh, the tolerance of some children would amaze you.
Yeah. Is Dr. Santos here?
I just heard her page, but she went home at 2 this morning. She's been on call all night. She'll be in very soon, I'm sure.
Thank you, Aunt. Thank you.
Nurse, where is my baby?
It would help if I knew your name.
I'm sorry. I'm Raven Swift.
Well, you could ask your husband. He's right over there.
Logan, what did you do to my baby? I'm sorry. I don't know what I'm saying. I know you didn't do anything. It's just that I am very worried.
Worried, huh? Geraldine called you last night, didn't she? If you were so worried, why didn't you come by then?
Because I was sick. I had a virus and I couldn't get out of bed.
Oh, I'm glad you recovered so quickly.
Logan, I would have come if I could have. Jamie means a lot to me.
Well, he means something to you. It's just I'm not exactly sure what it is.
He is my son. He's my own flesh and blood. I am the one who carried him for 9 months. I bore the burden, not you.
Burden, huh? Burden? Is that what Jamie means to you, a burden?
I love him. Why do you think I took so many risks trying to get him back? And if he dies, he won't do either one of us any good, will he?
It's funny. Jamie's the best thing that we ever did together, and now... Well, you know what he means to me.
Oh, I know exactly what he means to you, and I know how you feel, too. Possessive. The only reason you're keeping him from me is spite. You just want to pay me back because you think I did something wrong.
I'm just imagining that you had an affair with Elliot Dorn? Is that it?
Who drove me to it?
Oh, come on.
And besides, it was only a couple of nights. I mean, Elliot Dorn means nothing to me.
Look, this is no place to have an argument.
And you accuse me of trying to steal Jamie back. You're the one who stole him in the first place. You can't deny
Stole
that.
him? I took him back from April and Draper. You're the one who took him away from me without telling me anything. You
It's
stole
a
my...
lie.
It's the truth. Your letter shows that.
Oh, the letter
Yeah.
that I gave to April and Draper, giving them permission to take care
Your letter
of
says a
him.
lot more than that, and you know
How
it.
do you know?
I-
Do you have the letter?
No, but I know what's in it, and if I have to, I'll use it against you. Don't
See,
think
that's
I won't.
what I mean. Revenge. That's all you care about. You care nothing about his health. And look who you hired as babysitters.
Oh.
Armed policemen.
You're being ridiculous.
That's why
you know
he's
that.
sick. They knew nothing about taking care of a baby.
I was expecting that one. Let me tell you, Jamie's fever had nothing to do with neglect.
Oh, sure. He probably caught the disease from those cops, something they caught from some street
You
criminal.
disgust me.
Logan, look, I don't know what I'm saying. I'm just very upset. I am scared.
Mr. Swift.
Dr. Santos, this is Jamie's mother.
How do you do?
Nice to
Maria
meet you.
Santos.
Please, can you tell me about Jamie?
Well, the fever is quite resistant. I'm really hoping it has reached its peak. Oh, he's in good hands. Why don't you go home and get some rest?
Yeah.
Doctor, what if the fever doesn't break? He'll die, won't he? He'll die. And that'll be the end of everything.
April, your suitcases are in the trunk of the car.
Oh, thank you very much, Mike.
Now, are you sure that Nicole is able to go with you to get the baby?
Yeah, she's supposed to meet me at the hospital. I think Miles is going to be there, too.
Then you'll have a chance to find out about Jamie.
Oh, that is exactly what I plan on doing. Oh, listen, did Nancy tell you I called the hospital this morning, and they said there's no change in his condition.
You would think the antibiotics would work. April, I'm just so grateful that your little baby is all ready to get her first look at her new home.
Yeah. I just hope her mommy's ready.
Well, April, our offer still stands. If you want to start out right here, you and Julia are more than welcome.
Oh, thanks, Mike, but I really think that Julia's place is in her home. I think that's my place, too.
Sure. But we're going to miss you, you know. I think you guessed that anyway.
I'm going to miss you. I miss you, too. Listen, I have to apologize. I was only really half listening at breakfast. Did you say something about getting a new house guest or something?
Yes, that's right. It appears as though my nephew is going to be moving in. Kelly.
I didn't even know you had a nephew.
Well, he's my brother's son. Lee.
Oh.
Lee and Jerry?
Oh.
Yeah. They moved out of Monticello when? How long
Oh,
ago
it had
was
to
it?
be more than 18 years ago.
Right. At least the architect.
Oh.
Oh, you didn't know that, did
No.
you? Oh, well, all right. No, he's designed buildings for all over the world. South America, Europe, Asia.
Well, I'm very glad that you'll get to see them all again.
No, not them, just the son. He's going to be visiting Monticello alone. As a matter of fact, we don't even know how long he's going to stay.
Oh, when was the last time you saw him?
Oh, we've only seen pictures of him. No. Lee said something, though, that really intrigued me. He said that Kelly has a unique talent, and I just can't figure out what that means. Listen, you have to be leaving, don't you?
I do. I really do.
Okay.
Well, all right now. Okay.
You take care. Okay. I'm going to miss you.
For everything, really.
Okay.
Give Julia a kiss for me.
Oh, I will, and a hug and everything.
Okay, and listen, try to call us tonight and let us know how things went today.
And if you don't call, we'll call you.
All right, listen, maybe I'll even put Julia on the phone. Who knows, by now maybe she can even talk. Oh, wish me luck.
Oh, we do. We do. Oh. She's been waiting for this day for such a long time.
Yes, she has. It's going to be very hard for her now that she's all alone.
That's all right, Charlie. What do you think of the electric unicorn?
Wait, but I don't understand. What's wrong with just plain old unicorn?
Well, maybe we won't change the name. Especially since there's already an electric balloon and a few other oddly named establishments in this town. But we have to let the people know somehow that the old unicorn has been laid peacefully to rest. And that a new unicorn has been born.
What do you mean, no? How?
Oh, this place is a mausoleum, Charlie. It's dead. So are the prophets. Well, last night, I went to a place that was very much alive and very profitable.
You're talking about the electric balloon?
Have you been there?
Oh, yeah. But it's not my cup of tea. It's full of kids, mostly.
Kids, Charlie. Young people. That's where all the action is. They're the ones who fill up the nightclubs every night. And they are the ones that are going to pay. So this unicorn is too old and too stodgy.
Wait a minute. You're not talking about turning this place into a disco or something like that?
Why give it a name? Give something a name and you're asking for it to be outdated. Oh, we'll have music. Records, that's the cheapest. And we'll have lights all over the place. Blazing lights, dazzling lights, all kinds of lights.
It seems to me you're going to lose your old clientele, well, without necessarily getting anybody new.
I don't care about the old clientele. There was never enough to matter. What we have to worry about is the new. And how are we going to get the new clientele in here?
I don't know, Mr. Dorn. It's your place. I guess you can do anything you want.
That's right, Charlie. And this is what I want.
Hey, that's real cute, Mr. Dorn. You know that?
That's an idea. That's what I'm going to need, Charlie. Lots and lots of ideas.
There's something you're right. I'm going to get out of here and see if I can get some of my ideas going for you, okay?
Good for you.
Oh, excuse me.
I have to talk to you.
See you later, Charlie. Don't tell me it's bad news.
He's alive. But he had a raging fever all night.
I'm sorry to hear that, Raven.
Is this coffee?
Yeah, help yourself.
Logan was there. I think he was there all night.
And what do you have to say?
The first thing he did was complain about the fact that I didn't go there last night, and it's your fault.
Mine? Oh, my darling Raven, I wasn't the one who drank all that alcohol. You were in no condition to go anywhere.
Well, I told him I was sick, and he won't find out any different, will he?
I hardly think that Logan and I will be chatting about you in the very near future. Or ever, for that matter.
He talked about that letter. The one that I gave April and Draper about Jamie. How could I have been so stupid?
Well, you didn't think it was stupid at the time. You were completely prepared to see the last of your son.
Well, I'm afraid that that letter might guarantee that I see the last of my son because he intends to use it against me if April will give it to him.
Seems to me, Raven, you have more to worry about now.
That's true. If Jamie dies, then the letter won't matter at all, will it? Nothing will matter.
Oh, you don't have to play that scene for me, Raven. You already played it, remember? You already told me why you're so concerned about Jamie's well-being. It's because if you don't get your little son, you don't get your big inheritance.
I should never have told you about that. And besides, it's not true.
Isn't it?
No, it isn't. The reason I am worried about my son is because I love him. The fact that he is my mother's heir is only one of the reasons that I want him to get better.
Good try, darling. But too little and too late. Oh, I understand your reasoning completely. I'm just surprised that I couldn't figure it out for myself.
Don't you dare breathe a word of this to anyone, do you understand?
So that was the reasoning behind all these kidnapping attempts, huh? All these tears shed over your baby's
shut up! Don't you think I have any feelings?
Oh, I think you did have some motherly pangs when you heard that your boy was ill. But the strongest instinct in your body is that of self-preservation, Raven. Tell me something. How did you find out that your mother was going to leave her millions to your son? I don't imagine she told you that.
No, she didn't tell me. I found out.
How? What happened in London exactly? I mean, what started all this? Come on, you can tell me.
Well, as I told you before, Mother was not very happy about my going to London in the first place. I suspect that the reason she moved to London was because she wanted to keep Ansel and I away from each other.
Ansel Scott. That's Draper's father, right?
Yes. Ansel and I knew each other before he even met Mother, you know. I used to date him. In fact, I'm the one who introduced him to Mother. Big mistake. Should have realized he would become intrigued by all her money. Some men find money to be the most exciting perfume in the world.
Present company excluded, of course.
Anyway, they got married and moved away to London. And then when I showed up,
Go on. Mama wasn't too happy to see you, but Ansel was.
Well, why shouldn't he be? I was his friend.
Hmm.
One day, my mother got an invitation from Lord and Lady somebody or another. She always was a social climber. And Ansel couldn't go because he had a business meeting in London, so he convinced her to go by herself.
Oh, this is beginning to sound familiar.
Nothing happened. He simply invited me to dinner, and I went to keep him company. And then somebody told Mother about it and exaggerated the whole thing, made it sound as if we had slept together.
Did you?
Who, me? Anyway, Mother was furious. And I decided that I had better leave very fast. But I suspected that she was very upset and might change her will, so I went to see this man called Mr. Beamish. It sounds like something right out of Dickens.
And who was Mr. Beamish?
Mr. Beamish was the solicitor at the law firm. He was very young, about 25. He was also very nice to me.
I'm sure he was.
Anyway, he told me it was true. Mother had cut me out of her will. I was not to get a penny. Do you believe it? I have to live the rest of my life on my measly allowance. Anyway, that wasn't all of it. She had also changed the beneficiary from me to my son. Neither Ansel or I was to get a penny. But when Jamie is 21 years old, he will be a multi-millionaire.
Hmm. So until he reaches that magical age of 21, yeah, he would have to have somebody mature to manage his money for him, right? I see, darling, I see. In order for you to get your money, you have to get your son.
Yes. Jamie has got to live. And he has got to live with me.
Got the call right after you left the house this morning. Tried calling Walter Hoffman to see if he could cover the story for me. Walter's out of town.
What does that mean? Does that mean the story won't be covered at all, or what?
Well, we can send a camera crew up there, but there won't be anybody to cover the point of view.
What about Geraldine? She makes any suggestions?
Well, I didn't want to bother her this early in the morning. She was at the studio till after 1 last night. Well, I feel awful about this, but there really isn't anything I can do.
No, of course not. Just that I hate to have April try to handle this all by herself.
I know. She really needs to have someone there when she picks up Julia. And when she goes into that house for the first time. That's going to be very difficult for her, you know.
Yes, I know. It might be harder than she anticipates. I wish I could take your place, but when my schedule is like this morning, I got a lot of patients who are waiting for me.
Oh, listen, I wouldn't ask you.
Good morning, good morning.
Hello.
Good morning.
Logan? I convinced Logan to come down here and have some breakfast since he spent the entire night in the hospital.
How's Jamie?
No significant change.
His fever is still really high. They can't seem to get it down.
Well, when they do, it'll be all of a sudden. Take my word for it.
Look, I've been trying to tell Logan that he should go home. Don't you agree with me?
Dr. Santos said the same thing.
Well?
I could probably use a break. Maybe I'll go for a walk later on, right?
How about a long ride?
What?
April, I really don't want to break a promise, but there's a very important story breaking upstate. There's a dam threatening to collapse, and it's endangering a lot of lives.
The story has to be covered by the station. Apparently, there's nobody available except Nicole.
Well, then you do it. Nicole, it's your job. I told you I can take Julia home by myself.
I know, but I feel awful about it.
Wait a minute now. Is that the drive you were talking about me taking? You want me to drive April home? Is that it?
Yeah?
Well, I could do that, I guess. It'd give me the break I was talking about. And on the way back, I could stop by the apartment, shave, shower, probably think a little clearer after that.
That sounds like a good idea.
Is all right with you?
Me? Well, sure. Thank you. Logan, I don't want you to feel... I'm perfectly capable of taking Julia home all by myself. I don't want you to feel forced into this.
Nobody twisted my arm, did they? Huh?
No.
All right. Besides, if I don't get a fresh shirt pretty soon, they're going to throw me out of here as a health hazard.
That's true.
Thanks a lot.
Oh.
Is that her? Here we go.
Here's your little girl. Hello. Would you hold
Oh, sure, absolutely.
I'll get the wheelchair. Thank you. Look at your mommy. What you sticking out your little tongue there?
What
Isn't she beautiful?
Oh, she's gorgeous. Just a beauty.
She looks just like Draper.
Yeah. I tell you, Jamie's going to go for you in a big way, I guarantee that.
What a funny
If not, you know, maybe you'd be interested in an older man. Got any plans for her for Saturday night?
What's this? Well, if you want to carry her, ride. Hospital policy.
Well, she doesn't like that idea.
Oh, come on. Would you hold the chair?
Oh, sure.
All right, let's...
Here we go.
Oh, she's gonna...
Look at her. She's going to cry. She says, I want my mommy to take me out.
Oh, kids love going for a ride. Don't you believe it?
Look at she's looking at you, Logan.
She has no taste, but aside from that.
Okay, ready?
Yes, sir. Home James.
We're going.
Well, what do you think of it? It's not bad, huh? My rendition is a bit amateurish, but I think that's a general idea.
It's very clever. I wish you could have been as clever and helped me.
Well, I can't do the impossible, darling. And neither could you, obviously. I mean, how are we going to get into Geraldine Saxon's suite without using brute force?
I would have done that if it would have worked.
I know you would have. Anyway, Jamie isn't in the suite anymore, so that takes care of Plan E, doesn't it?
That's right. He's at the hospital.
So what?
So he's at the hospital. That's a public place.
Raven, what are you thinking of?
I'm thinking of the same thing I have been thinking of since I came to Monticello. You are a genius. And I have got an answer.
Seems as though a harmony is hard to find, always on our mind, and frustrated days pass without sight, the edge of night, half dark, half light, as we watch our hearts trying to hold the tenderness that we once had, halfway glad, halfway sad, the edge of night, half dark.
There you go, ladies first.
Years since I've been in this place.
Well, lots happened since you were here last.
It's very neat. Dusty.
That reminds me of a girl I used to go with.
Oh, Logan. I don't know. I know this is home, but it doesn't feel like it, doesn't look like it.
It will. It'll take time, but it will.
Oh, I forgot. I swore to myself the whole ride here that I was not going to start doling out self-pity because I have a happy occasion to celebrate.
Boy, that's for sure. This is Julia's homecoming. Ta-ta, ta-ta.
Yes. Oh, Oh, Logan, I can't tell you what it means to me to be able to take her home from the hospital. Oh, look at her. You're going to be my priority, you know that, from now on. Well, this is it, Julia. Home, sweet home. What do you think of it?
Did she nod there? Oh, maybe she doesn't approve. I think she's getting sleepy. You want me to take her for a while? Your arms must be ready to fall off.
No, that's okay. Even if they are, I don't think I'm ready to give her up yet. You think she is sleepy?
Oh, bound to be. All the excitement, that long car ride. Yeah, I think a nap is definitely in order.
Oh, well, do you mind sleeping with your mommy? You know, Draper and I had full intentions of fixing that room upstairs. Yes, as a nursery, but I'm afraid a lot of things happen.
You'll be happy to have her with you. It'll be easier to look after. She'll be good company.
Hey.
Sure.
Oh. Well, come on, young lady. I think it's about time to show you your room.
Right. Here, I'll get the bags out of the car. You want me to bring them up when I get them?
Okay.
All right.
The room that's going to be hardest. Take the longest time to feel comfortable. Listen, I told you you might have to sleep with your mommy, but you still get your own bed. What's this? It's a letter. From Draper. Let's see what your daddy had to say. Let me see what your daddy said in his letter. Oh, you could. Here we go. You lie down. Oh, no. It's okay. It's okay. Yes. Yes. I'm gonna read this. Dearest Aunt, you don't know how much I wish.
No one is sorrier than I am that this letter is the best I can do. I'm happy you're reading this because it means you're out of the hospital and back where you belong. Home. Our home. It also means that it's that much closer to the time when Julia is going to be strong enough to join you there. Oh, God, honey. God, how I wish we could go to the hospital to bring Julia home together. I love our little girl, honey, and it's tearing me apart knowing that I'm not going to be around to see her grow up. So please don't let a day go by without telling Julia just how much her father loves her. Well, it seems like I've left you with quite a job, haven't I? Raising Julia all by yourself, I mean. But I know you're going to do just fine. My one wish is that Julia grows up to be just like her mother. Kind and loving. So when you read this letter, don't feel sad. Share my happiness in knowing that you and Julia will be starting your lives together soon. Having to be apart from you is going to be torture for me. But the one thing that's going to get me through this terrible experience is the knowledge that the two women I love more than anything else in the world are waiting for me in Monticello. So even though I'm far away right now, I want you to know my thoughts and my love are with you and Julia, and they always will be. And I can't wait for the day when our family's going to be reunited. I love you, honey. I love you very much. I'll see you soon.
Okay, here we go. You all right?
Yeah, it's letter from Draper. He wrote this letter, and he really believed he'd be coming home someday.
Don't think he'd be happy to see you cry right now.
Logan, I just don't know what to do. Every time I feel that I'm able to cope with losing Draper, something happens. And I just remembered all over again just how much I miss him.
Anything I can do to help?
I think she really should have a bottle. I think there's one in the diaper bag.
Say no more. Get the bottle. Here we go. Point me to the kitchen. Figure of speech, I know where it is.
Thanks.
You and Julie have a nice little mother-daughter chat. I'll be back in a jiffy.
Your Uncle Logan is some kind of guy. You know, he reminds me a lot of your daddy. As for you, well, I don't think one day is gonna go by when I don't look at you. Think of Draper. Well, you know, you should take that as a compliment. Yes, you should. Because your daddy was a very handsome man. And you are the most beautiful baby I've ever seen in my whole entire life. You know, the nurses at the hospital said you were a very well-mannered young lady. Please keep up the good work. I had a little bit of experience taking care of babies, but never all by myself. So your cooperation would be greatly appreciated. Oh, Julia, I may have to learn how to take care of you. But I certainly don't have to learn how to love you. I'll be here whenever you need me. I gotta tell you something, too, just between you and me. Your mommy needs you. I have no idea what the future holds for either one of us. But I'll tell you, as long as we're together, we'll manage to get through absolutely anything.
Room service. Somebody asked for a bottle.
I think it's a hungry little lady in
Well,
here.
I think she's going to like it. It has a wonderful bouquet.
The shirt's the right temperature.
Are you kidding? In my neck of the woods, they call me the magic wrist.
I forgot.
No cracks about that, please. There you go. Great wrist, huh? Listen, can I use the phone? I want to check
Please,
up
go
on Jane.
ahead.
Here, use that. Keep yourself from getting all messy. I was talking to Dr. Santos before I left. She said the number of children have come down with this upper respiratory, whatever it is. And, yeah, could I have pediatrics, please? She said that they were thinking at one time of contacting the disease control people down in Atlanta. This is Mr. Swift. I wanted to check up on my son. Swift. I see. Thank you.
What did he say?
Just a moment. There's no change. They haven't been able to get the fever down. Listen, I'll be at this number. It's 555-1376 for the next 50
You know, I'm glad Molly took the day off to visit her sister. It's been a long time since I prepared a meal for you.
You set only two places. Isn't Kirk joining us?
Well, I went upstairs before to see what he wanted for lunch. He said he wasn't hungry.
It doesn't sound like Kirk. He's been anything but shy at the dinner table.
When I was talking to him before, it was as if he was only half listening to me, as if his mind was someplace else.
I wonder what that's all about.
Daddy, I'm worried about him. I hope he isn't getting sick.
Well, if you like, I'll look in on him after we eat.
Good. You know, he hardly slept at all last night.
How do you know that?
Well, I heard him. His room is just across from mine. He was pacing in that room almost till dawn.
Well, he hasn't been able to get much exercise. It was probably a little nervous energy that kept him awake.
Sorry, I'm late. I thought I'd come down and join you. I certainly hope you don't mind.
Oh, no. Come sit down. Can I fix you a plate? Or are you still not hungry?
Well, now that my appetite seemed to have come back, I certainly can't afford to miss a home-cooked meal, can I?
Emily was afraid you weren't feeling well.
I'm feeling fine now.
So there was something the matter.
Yeah, I guess I was just too tense to eat.
What was troubling you?
I had to find a solution to my problem. So I went ahead and got the addresses and the phone numbers of the local police. I'm going to contact them and find out about Kirk Michaels. finally beginning to feel like there's some light at the end of this tunnel that I'm in.
Kirk, you can't be serious about this.
You know that the idea of trying to find out whether or not I'm really Kirk Michaels has been on my mind for quite some time.
But it's nothing to lose sleep over because we know that's who you are.
But I don't know who I am. Don't you see, your assurances just aren't enough for me.
Kirk, you have to learn to trust me. After all, I am your wife.
Emily, I'm doing this for myself. And somehow in the back of my mind, your assurances about my identity just aren't enough.
Well, it's a very natural reaction. But the sooner you allow yourself to believe that you are Kirk, the sooner you'll adjust.
But I'm not going to be able to do that unless I see proof that I am who you say I am.
Well, there must be a simpler way of investigating this without involving the police.
It just seems like the logical place to start.
I think you're setting yourself up for a very big disappointment.
But you told me yourself that I probably did things that the police know about.
Yes, but petty juvenile offenses, I mean, that was years ago. Those records are probably in the trash by now.
Maybe not.
Well, even if they still exist, you were never really officially booked, so your fingerprints wouldn't be on file.
Well, to the best of your knowledge.
Kirk, I'm telling you this for your own good. Just let things be.
Daddy is right. It's the future that counts.
In case you've forgotten, there's a 10-year chunk of my past that I can't seem to come up with.
Asking the police to recreate those years could open a very unpleasant can of worms.
But I've got to know what my life was like. Now, if I can't remember, I've got to find somebody who can tell me. I'm frightened about what I'm going to learn. But the prospect of living like this for the rest of my life, I can't stand it.
Kirk, what can I do to change your mind?
You can't. Emily, nothing has ever been this important to me.
Well, what are you going to do?
Well, I'm sure the police aren't going to tell me anything over the telephone, so I'll have to go to headquarters myself.
That's out of the question, Kurt. As your doctor, I'm telling you that you're in no condition to travel and may not be for some time.
You heard, Daddy. It's just not feasible. Now put those thoughts out of your mind.
No! But can't you see? I've got to make sure of who I am.
Well, if he insists on being so headstrong about this, I suppose I'll have to help him then.
What can you do, Daddy?
Well, remember my old fishing buddy, Gil Curry? Yeah. Well, he's on the police force. I'll ask Gil to do me a favor and see what he can find out. I'll give him a call now.
Well, it's not written in gold, but it'll have to do for now. I dubbed thee Clifford Nelson, dispenser of sage legal advice, champion of justice, and defender of the poor. Well, I hope the rich, too. Boy, if Logan could see me now. Gotta get to work. Let's see. I don't want the old reference books too far away. Of course, then, maybe we should have them. We don't want the clients to think that I don't know what I'm talking about, and I have to use reference books. Put them over here.
Who are you talking to, Cliff?
Oh, Mr. Carr. No one. Just getting things in order, that's all.
How long have you been at it?
Oh, all morning. But I want everything to be perfect, you know. I think a man's office says a lot about him, don't you?
Yes, I guess it does. Now, look, we've got so much work here that it's going to keep us busy for a long time. I want you to give that top folder the highest priority.
Oh, what is it, some corporate merger or maybe a death row appeal?
Neither.
Let's see. Logan Swift. I don't know Logan was a client of ours.
Well, he's going to be represented by us now in this action.
Let's see, the custody over his son. Wait a minute, his son, Jamie, I thought that his only tie was that he was married to Raven. Kevin Jamison is the real father.
When you read those affidavits, you'll understand his relationship to the boy and why he's filing this petition.
Yeah, I certainly will read them. I hope we can help him out. I know how much he cares about this kid.
Well, his main concern right now is that Jamie grows up in a healthy environment.
Well, then he better keep the kid away from Raven Swift.
I see you know the lady.
Oh, well, yeah, I met her once or twice. I could see why Logan would have reservations about her.
Then you can understand why he has reservations about her raising the boy.
Yeah. You know, what's funny is the first time I saw Raven, I said, wow, isn't Logan lucky to be involved with a woman like that?
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, I was wrong. Hello? Hello? Oh, there you are. Yes, this is Mr. Nelson. Oh, send her right in, yeah. It's your wife.
Oh.
Hello, I hope I'm not interrupting anything important.
Of course
No?
not. Come on in.
Okay, hi, darling.
You look beautiful today, Mrs. Connor.
Oh, nice of you to say that. Thank you.
Cliff, if you'd like to join us for lunch, you're more than welcome.
Thank you very much, but if I'm going to help Logan, I think I better get some first-hand information on this case. Nice seeing you, Mrs. Carr.
See you after lunch, Cliff.
Yes, sir.
How was your morning?
Honey, I got a cable.
Oh, from Lee and Jerry?
You know, that letter must have taken a long time to get to us.
Why?
Because Kelly is already in New York, and he's staying there for another 2 days, and then he's coming on out here.
That's soon.
Yeah, so I'd like to call him. Can I take
Oh,
one
sure,
of these lines? Okay, I want to find out how he's doing.
There you go.
Thank you. Hello? Yes, room 704, please. Thank you. It's ringing.
Listen, can I get you a cup of coffee or tea or...
No, thank you. I got to leave soon. How's Julia?
Oh, sleeping like a baby.
Oh,
Oh, you should see her. She looks so cute, all curled up in her little bassinet.
she nodded right off. She must feel right at home.
Yeah, I'm glad someone does. Logan, I'm sorry, but this house just does not feel like home to me, not anymore.
It is, though. For you and for Julia.
Logan, it was also Draper's home, and everything about this house reminds me of that fact. I mean, look at this sofa. I mean, this sofa isn't just a sofa. It happens to be the place where Draper and I sat, where Draper would sit and read the evening paper. Look at the desk. It's not just a piece of furniture. That is the desk where Draper did his work when he came home.
From now on, that sofa will be the sofa where you sit and read fairy tales to Julia before you shoo her off to bed. And the desk will be where you help Julia with her homework, assuming that she needs help with her homework. Can I get that? This might be from the... Hello? The Scott residence. I'm speaking. Yes, doctor. No, thank you. Thank you for calling. I understand. Yes, goodbye.
What'd you say?
Jamie's a little worse. Thinks I ought to get back to the hospital, so I'll be on my way.
Logan, thanks for everything.
No problem. You're gonna be all right.
Yeah.
I'll talk to you later.
Hello, Leo.
Leo, what are you doing here? Come on in.
I had some files to drop off at the state trooper's office out on the interstate. Your place is just a hop, skip, and a jump down the road.
Now, let me think. The last time that we saw each other was in the middle of Mountain Lake on a day the fish just weren't biting.
So what else is new? Hey, I'm fixing to try my luck again next weekend. Why don't you join me?
Oh, I'd like to, Gil. Maybe some other time.
Hell, it took me a moment to realize that was you on the phone before. That's how long it's been.
Well, I hope the favor I asked wasn't too much trouble.
Oh, no trouble. No trouble at all, Leo. As a matter of fact, I have your answer.
That was fast.
That was a tough one you threw at me. Asking me to hunt up the fingerprints on a 10-year-old file. A juvenile offender at that.
Well, I didn't think they still existed, but I wanted you to confirm that for
Now,
me.
hold on a second. Gil Curry always gets his man. I found the prints.
You did?
It wasn't easy. That juvenile file is long gone. But I had that name fed into the new computer that we have. And in no time at all, it told me that Kurt Michaels committed a felony back in '70. Grand theft order.
I should have known.
He was booked on that charge. His prints are down at the, on file at the county seat.
I see.
Yeah, I was on my way down there now to pick them up, and I was going to mail you a copy.
I tell you what, Gil, I got the rest of the day off, and I got a couple of pretty good fish stories, so why don't I ride over there with you, and we'll save the taxpayers the postage.
I'd be glad for the company.
We can go out through the kitchen. I want to get my bag.
You know, Doc, maybe on the way over, you can Tell me why. My side.
Rescue.
So there are fingerprints.
What do you mean you don't have any more information?
I'm sorry, Mrs. Swift. There aren't any new notations on your son's chart, not since you last called.
Aren't you taking care of my son?
Of course we are. Jamie's getting constant attention.
Look, I know what happens. You've probably spent the whole afternoon looking around for some intern to take you out on Saturday night.
Mrs. Swift, if you can, why don't you call back in about a half an hour?
Don't you dare put me off. I want to know right now how my son is.
Dr. Santos should be in any minute. I'm sure she will have examined Jamie by then, and hopefully we'll have some news for you.
Thanks a lot for nothing. Please. He just can't die. He can't die.
Dr. Devine, please report to emergency. Dr. Devine, report to emergency.
Hi. I wonder if Oh, one more. Logan, how are you?
Oh, hi, Miles. You know anything about Jamie?
Oh, I'm kind of a stranger here in pediatrics. I just came by to see if I could get a look at his chart.
Oh. I was up at April's. I got a call from Dr. Santos. She wanted me to come back to the hospital. Said that Jamie was in some kind of crisis.
Oh, I see.
She let me in to see him, though. He's lying there, just listless. You know how a fever affects a baby. I had this funniest feeling. He was looking at me, and I felt like he was saying, "Do something, Dad. Help me."
Cindy Masserino, please dial patient
I'm
information.
probably just going a little stir crazy, you know, the waiting. I think the waiting is getting to me.
Logan, I tell you what, why don't you go down to the cafeteria, huh? Get something to eat. I'll come down for you as soon as Dr. Santos examines Jamie.
No, I can't do that. I can't leave again until I know that Jamie's going to make it through all this.
Well, there's no knowing how long it's going to take before the crisis passes.
Well, it better not be too much longer. I don't think I can take much more of this.
Well, now, look, worrying yourself sick isn't going to help Jamie any.
Oh, well. Probably right there. You know, you're just more used to this than I am.
Well, I'm not used to it. I'm just exposed to it more, that's all. The day I get used to it, I probably won't be much of a doctor.
Hope Dr. Santos feels the same way.
I know she does. She's doing all she can.
Please, God, let it be enough.
You know, we sometimes say that time is on the side of the patient, especially in cases like this, Logan.
Thanks, Miles. I know what you're doing. What you're trying to do anyway. I appreciate it.
I owe you some thanks for taking April out to Oakdale this afternoon. How'd that go?
It was all right. It's very hard for her to set foot in the door, but aside from that.
I was a little worried she'd maybe not even get that far.
No, she did it. I think having Julia there with her, I think that was very useful. Very helpful.
Yeah.
A little worried about leaving her as quickly as I did, though. See, I have this feeling that when she's not occupied fully with Julia, then that house is going to seem terribly empty to her.
I'm sure it will.
I just stayed longer, you know. I got this call from Dr. Santos to come back. I told you that already, didn't I? I'm repeating myself.
It's all right. Now, Nicole and I are going out to see April later today. But then, of course, we're going to have to leave her alone eventually, too.
Yeah.
That's something April's not going to be able to escape for a while. Being alone.
Yes, Mr. Porter, I know how much you appreciate the opportunity. We'll see you tonight, then. Goodbye. There we are. It's all set.
Thank you.
From Harrison Porter's voice, I would say that you have just made a friend for life.
It's awfully nice of you to allow him to substitute for me tonight.
Nicole, as far as I'm concerned, your plans for this evening have a very high priority.
Well, Miles and I both think it's essential that somebody be with April tonight.
Oh, I couldn't agree more.
And, I guess I'm ready. I'm going to go over to the hospital now and pick him up. We're going to drive out there together.
April's first day home with a new baby. It should have been such a joyous occasion.
I know. But we're going to do everything we can to help her get through it.
It's her first night there that will be the most difficult for her.
I don't know how she's going to do it.
Well, Nicole, if April is going to recover from this tragedy, then she's going to have to prove to herself that she can live and function in that household.
Frankly, Geraldine, I have half a mind to go out there and to tell her to pack her bags and take her back to my place.
Why?
Well, I just think she's taking on too much too soon.
Well, she has to run her own life sometime.
Well, at least I wish she wouldn't be so stubborn about not hiring a baby nurse. I don't think she really realizes how much of a handful that little girl is going to be.
Well, I don't know. I have an idea that right now April feels that that child is the only thing she has in this world. So naturally, she's going to focus a lot of her attention on that baby. And for now, I think it could have a very positive effect.
And then I am worried about the fact that she's living so far away from all the rest of us.
Well, that's unfortunate, of course.
I mean, I don't know. She could have a problem with Julia that she doesn't know how to handle.
Well, we hope that doesn't happen, but if it does, there's always the telephone. Now, Nicole, don't be so worried. Somehow we women seem to survive being widowed. And I have no doubt that April is going to survive, too. Geraldine Saxon.
That's great, right?
Well, if it isn't the Three Musketeers.
Well, hello, Raven.
This is a pretty classy joint for cops, isn't it?
Told you I didn't like the looks of the crowd around here.
It'll look a lot better as soon as you all leave.
We'd invite you to sit down, but I don't think there's enough room at this table.
You know, I really give you credit for guts. I'm surprised you have the nerve to look me in the eye.
What in the world are you talking about?
Don't you feel a little guilty?
Raven, if you've got something to say, say it.
I just want to know if you feel satisfied that your babysitting efforts may cost my son his life. My son is in the hospital fighting for his life, and it is your fault.
You have a hell of a nerve making that kind of an accusation.
How in the world did a dumb idea like that get in your head?
Because it's true, and you know it.
For your information, Raven, nothing we did caused Jamie's illness.
Yeah, if you had bothered to talk to his pediatrician, she would have told you that there's some sort of bug going around. There are a lot of kids that are sick right now. As a matter of fact, Dr. Santos seems to think there's an epidemic in Monticello.
You are responsible.
So how do you figure that?
Because any real baby nurse would have recognized the symptoms right away and stopped the virus before it developed into anything other than a cold.
Raven, there is nothing and no one who could have done anything to stop Jamie's getting sick.
Since when are you an MD, detective?
Raven, we took very good care of Jamie.
You would have been much better off with Attila the Hun.
As soon as Jamie is well and Logan wants us to, we're going to pick up where we left off.
Over my dead body.
Well, talk about incentive for going back to work.
You know, Raven, you should be the last person to complain about Logan's choice of babysitters. The only reason Logan wanted us to keep an eye on Jamie is because you keep trying to kidnap him.
You guys always have an answer, don't you?
We are just doing our job.
Well, you know less about the law than you do about taking care of children.
Is that so, Mommy dearest?
Yes. You cannot kidnap your own child. And no matter what Logan says, he has no legal rights to Jamie. I have legal rights, and I deserve to keep him.
Tell it to the judge.
I will, and I'll get him back. And when I do, nobody, not you, nor the entire police force of Monticello, will take him away from me. Do you understand?
Okay, Raven, why don't you just cool it? We're in a public place. Yeah, look, we just came to have a nice, quiet dinner, and you were having a drink, so why don't we just calm
You
down?
don't want me to continue because you know I'm right.
Look, I'm trying to give you the benefit of the doubt, Mrs. Swift. I assume this scene you're creating is because of your concern about Jamie's illness.
You bet it is.
Raven, we all want Jamie to get better.
If my son dies, God forbid, I'm going to hold you personally responsible.
Look, why don't we just
You
declare
had
truce,
no
huh?
right to accept a job that you had no qualifications for.
I have given Jamie more affection in the last 2 weeks than you have since the day he was born.
You must have been careless. You know nothing about taking care of a baby. The only thing you know how to do is handle guns and police officers.
I could make a better mother than you could any day.
Oh, don't make me laugh. Let's face it, Deborah. You have about as much femininity as one of the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Well, when did it change? Oh, please, can't you give me more information than that? Yes, I understand. I know. I understand. All right. Thank you. Goodbye.
Hi, Dorothy.
Hello.
Well, I've had more enthusiastic greetings in my time. Something the matter?
Guy's just on the phone, Monticello General, to check on Jamie's condition.
How is he?
Not good. He's taken a turn for the worse. Now he's on the critical list.
No wonder you're upset.
Oh, he's just a little baby. He shouldn't be that sick.
Yeah. Logan must be going through hell right now.
Yeah.
Nancy, I'm sure the doctors are doing everything they can.
Yes, I know. You're right. Oh, dear. What news for a husband come home from a long day's work?
There are 2 breadwinners in this family, you know. And you didn't exactly sit home clipping coupons today, did you?
No. Honey, what would you think if we rearranged this furniture? I really would like to.
Okay with me. Hey, how come you usually do your exercises in the morning?
I know I didn't have time this morning, though. Listen, tell me, please. How was Cliff's first full day as a new member of the firm?
Well, it'll be a while until I get used to anyone other than Draper in that office. But I don't think I'm going to regret bringing Cliff into the firm.
Yeah. Is he all settled in?
In no time at all, he had the office looking very lived in.
When I stopped by at lunchtime, my goodness, it looked as though it had been hit by a tornado.
Well, at least he hasn't tripped over or broken any furniture. So far.
It's very good, honey, that you have an associate. Help take the burden of the workload off you.
Yeah, and to Cliff's credit, he volunteered to stay late tonight to go over some of the more urgent cases that kind of got lost in the shuffle.
Yeah, it's good to know he's as conscientious as Logan said he is.
As a matter of fact, he'll probably be calling tonight. I told him if he had any problems, just to give me a ring.
Oh, fine, good. Okay. Oh! Well, then maybe I ought to try Kelly again so that the line would be open.
You still haven't been able to reach your nephew?
No. I tried all afternoon and he just wasn't in.
Well, this should be a good time. He ought to be in now.
We shall soon find out. Okay, we can have dinner after this call.
Okay.
Hello? Yes. Please, I would like Mr. Kelly Pollock in room 704. Yes, Pollock. Well, would you ring the room anyway, please? She said that isn't the name of the person in 704.
Have we been calling the wrong room?
Well.
Hello?
Kelly? Speaking. Kelly, hello. This is Nancy Carr, your aunt in Monticello.
Hey, Aunt Nancy, hi.
Oh, well, my goodness, you are a difficult person to reach. I've been trying all day.
Well, I was out bright and early trying to take in all the sights. Hey, New York is quite a town.
Ah, listen, your mom and dad wanted me to call you there and find out if everything's okay.
Oh, just fine. And I'm really looking forward to meeting you and Uncle Mike.
Well, I was going to say I was looking forward to a wonderful family reunion, but I don't know if we can say that since we haven't met.
Well, I feel as if I've known you. I mean, ever since I was a little kid, all I've heard are nice things about you.
Oh, that's nice. Would you like to talk to your Uncle Mike?
Hey, please, put him on.
Hello, Kelly. How are you?
Hi, Uncle Mike. Thrilled to be talking to you after all these years.
Well, Nancy and I are looking forward to saying hello to you in person. I understand that you're going to be joining us in Monticello.
Yeah, as much as I like it here in New York. Think for the kind of work I do that I'd be over my head here. Monticello's going to be a good place for us to start out.
Well, your father told us that you had an unusual talent, but he didn't provide any details.
Well, I think it'll be best if I show you when I get there.
When's that going to be?
Day after tomorrow, if I have my dates straight.
Well, as soon as you know your arrival time, let us know, because we'll pick you up at the airport.
Hey, that's terrific.
Now, I'm going to turn you back to Nancy. Hold on.
Oh, it's so good to have a chance to talk to you.
Yeah, I'm glad to talk to you, too. Hey, and listen, Aunt Nancy, thanks again for letting me stay with you for a while.
Please, it's our pleasure. My goodness, we're very happy that you will be here. After all, your family. Oh, Kelly, I was wondering, the hotel operator didn't seem to know your name when I asked for Kelly Pollock.
Well, that's because I'm not using that name, Aunt Nancy. I hope you don't mind.
What name are you using?
I'm going by my mother's maiden name. It sounds a little better.
Ah, so you're Kelly McGrath.
Yeah. That's my stage name, I guess.
Oh. Oh, okay. Kelly, it's wonderful to talk to you, and we're really looking forward to seeing you. And be sure to let us know when you're arriving, all right?
All right.
All right, dear. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Why McGrath?
He says that that's his stage name.
Well, little fellow, in a couple days we'll be with Aunt Nancy and Uncle Mike in Monticello.
Where's Monticello?
Only a plane right away.
Do you think they'll like me?
Hey, of course, little fellow. They're gonna like you. Aunt Nancy said we're family. What else could you ask for?
Well?
Hey, besides you're cute.
And?
And what?
And lovable.
Dr. Lawrence, please dial extension 337.
Jamie's gonna be all right, Lawrence. Got to be all right. I bought a couple of tickets for the ball game this weekend. He makes me miss it. I'll never forgive him.
You'll be there for every pitch, both of you.
There you are.
Hello, sweetheart.
I told me that you might be in pediatrics.
Miles been holding my hand, making the waiting a little more bearable.
How's Jamie?
Last word wasn't too encouraging, but
Oh, I'm sorry.
Dr. Santos is in with him now.
Listen, if you want to stay here, I can drive out and see April by myself.
no, I'm not going to hear that. If you've got plans to be with April, you go ahead.
Well, yeah, I told you. We just thought it might be a little easier on April if she weren't alone tonight, especially.
Absolutely. She was very anxious this afternoon. I'm sure she'd be very happy to have your company.
Well, we're going to stay with her as long as we can, but I think the real test is going to come when she turns out the light, tries to get some sleep.
Yeah. Oh, I wish I could go back there with you.
I'll tell you what, we'll send her your regards.
Do.
Listen, when you do get some information about Jamie, give us a call. I think good news will make April feel better.
I'll call the minute I know anything, one way or the other.
Mr. Swift,
Dr. Santos, what's happening with Jamie?
the fever has finally broken. Your little boy is going to be fine.
Jamie's going to be fine. He's going to be all right. He's...
What'd I tell you, Logan?
Yeah.
It's wonderful. Barring any unforeseen complications, he'll be back to himself in a few little time.
Well, thank God, and thank you, Doctor. Thank you very much. Thank you.
What finally turned the tide?
I switched antibiotics. I gave Jamie a drug I seldom use on infants. And it really did the trick, but I had no other choice.
Well, it worked.
Yes, it did.
Yes, the fever's down to just a few degrees above normal. The infection is eradicated. Would you like to see the little boy?
Oh, would I? Please. Thank you so much. Excuse me, please.
use this phone again?
Sure.
Pediatrics.
Hello, this is Raven Swift. I'm calling about my son again.
Hello, Mrs. Swift.
Hello, do you have any new word on his condition, or have you managed to lose the files altogether?
Your son's physician happens to be right here. I'll let you speak to Dr. Santos. Just a minute. Excuse me, Dr. Santos. Do you have a phone call?
This is Dr. Santos.
Hello, Doctor. This is Raven Swift. I'm very, very worried about my son, and no one seems willing to tell me how he is.
Oh, I can tell you, Mrs. Swift, he's just doing fine.
He is?
Yes, I was talking to your husband, and, you know, the crisis is past. The fever has broken down a little while ago.
And he's just going to be fine.
I am so relieved to hear that.
Well, I'm glad to be the bearer of good news.
Thank you, thank you. You don't know how much this means to me, to know that he's well again.
He's on his way to recovery. If you want, you can come and visit him anytime.
Well, thank you. I'll come as soon as I can. I have one more question, though.
Yes, of course.
Do you know how long it will be until he's well enough to come home?
I'd be willing to release him in 24 hours or so, as long as I know that there's somebody at home that'll take good care of him.
Of course. The hospital is no place for a little baby. He belongs with his mother. Great. So, I'll pick him up as soon as you say it's okay. And thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye, Doctor.
Goodbye.
She is the most beautiful baby I've ever seen.
Coming from Adam's mother, that's high praise.
You know, I remember Adam when he was an infant. Yes, I do. Because I was there when he came yelling and screaming his way into the world.
Oh, that's right. He did do that too, didn't he? Well, he still does. Of course, he's learned. He yells and screams words now.
That's just because he has a lusty temper. This one looks like she's going to have very sweet nature.
Oh, she's bound to, considering who her mummy is.
Well, thank you. And her daddy. And I think she's going to be the image of her daddy. Look at these cheeks. Look at these cheeks and his chin here.
Look at those sleepy eyes. You know, I really think we should let her get some rest now.
You're right. It's Betty by time for all this
You
kind.
think so?
Yeah.
Okay, you go on downstairs and I'll go over there. Here we go. Look at you. Yes. We're gonna go to bed now, okay? We're gonna go to bed. Yes. And we're gonna go right to sleep because we've got company downstairs who we have to make some. Oh, you're a very good little girl. Yes. Oh, we knocked down the bear. Yes, we did. We're gonna go. You're gonna go to sleep. Good girl. Oh. Oh, boy.
April? Are you sure you want to stay here alone tonight?
I'm not alone. I've got Julia for company.
Still say you should have hired a baby nurse, at least for the first few days. There's nothing shameful about having somebody around to help you with a new baby.
Boy, I was glad for every bit of help I could get.
I don't need any help, thank you. I'm quite capable and strong enough to take care of that very little girl.
You strong enough to stay in this house all by yourself?
Miles, I told you, I'm not alone. Julia and I have to get used to it. We're on our own from now on.
Nobody can predict the future.
Not lately, anyway. Bad joke. It's just that when Draper and I moved in here, we never could have predicted any of the things that happened. Well, first of all, my getting pregnant, for one, and then secondly, bringing the baby home and Draper not being here. You know, he is here. He's all over this house, and every time I open up a door, I'm so sure he's behind it. Or if I hear a noise, you know, and I'm just so positive that it's Draper.
April, are you sure about this?
I'm very sure. This is my home. I have to stay here. I've no other choice.
Look, I'm not saying you're wrong, April. I know this house means a lot to you. Has meant a lot to you, is going to mean a lot to you in the future. I'm just talking about right now, this transition period.
Look, I appreciate you worrying about me, both of you. But stop. I made up my mind a long time ago that as soon as Julia was ready to leave the hospital, that the first place she was going to see was her own home.
Yeah, but her home is wherever you are. That's the whole point.
And this is where I am right now. And I want to learn to live with it.
You know, one of us could spend the night tonight.
No. I knew you were going to offer, and the answer is absolutely no. You two have spent entirely too much time separated.
Well, how about a friend? Could you get a
No,
friend
Miles,
over?
come on. Look, the only person I would have or could have asked would have been Deborah Saxon, and she happens to be a very busy policewoman. As soon as the two of you leave, I plan on going straight up to bed and sleeping until the morning.
I've got news for you.
Oh, yeah. The 2 o'clock feeding and the 6. Yeah, I know. That's all right. I don't mind that. Really.
Well, okay. I can see you've made up your mind and there isn't anything for us to do but just leave you here alone.
Yes, thank you.
Just remember what I said. If you need us for anything, you pick up the phone, you call us, all right?
I won't do that.
Ah, come on.
April, no, please. Now, even if you just want to talk, and it doesn't matter what time it is, I don't care. Call, okay?
No, I will be fine. I will be just fine. Thank you. Good night.
Good night.
Listen, when you see Logan tomorrow, would you please tell him how happy I am that Jamie's going to be okay?
Okay, well, I just hope you're going to be okay.
I'm going to be fine. Good night. Good night. Sleep well.
It's a beautiful song, Emily. But I've never heard it.
But you have heard
Well,
it.
of course I heard it upstairs in my bedroom, but I don't remember it. I don't remember this room, this piano, or the...
Or the piano player. It's all right. Really doesn't matter. Not much of a pianist anyway.
Emily, that's not true. You
Ah.
play beautifully.
I'm really out of practice. I don't know why. Especially on this song. Stopped playing it the day you left. It was just too painful.
Yeah, I understand.
Didn't stop my hearing it, though, in my head. Can't tell you the number of mornings I woke up hearing that song going round and round in my brain.
That's funny, because the same thing's happening to me. I wake up in the morning and I have this tune bouncing around in my head. Sounds like a music box melody.
Well, maybe it's this song.
No, I don't think so.
Well, it might have something to do with that carousel lamp that's up in your dresser. That could remind you of a music box.
Yeah, maybe that's it. Emily, why doesn't your father get back?
I don't know.
I was hoping he'd be back by now with some word about my fingerprint card.
You know, I still think this whole thing is really foolish. I wish you had never started digging in the past. Some things are better left forgotten.
Like my criminal record. Let's face it, Emily, I have one. I committed a felony. Lieutenant Curry said so.
But that record was made before we even knew each other. I don't want to go back that far.
As far as I'm concerned, my life started the day I met you.
Emily, don't you see that I'm glad I committed a felony? That means there are fingerprints somewhere. That's the only way I'm ever going to prove my identity.
But I don't have the slightest doubt who you are, or that I love you, just as much as ever, even more. You're so tired. I know you slept badly last night.
I didn't sleep at all. I was up all night trying to get some answers about myself.
Maybe you ought to go right up to bed, huh?
No, I can't sleep, Emily, not till your father gets back. I have to know if he got that fingerprint card.
You know, they might not have succeeded. That record bureau's all the way in Grand Falls. It might have closed before they got there.
Then why didn't he call me?
Look, I really wish you'd go up to bed. I'm worried about
Emily,
you.
there's no sense my going to bed. I'm not going to be able to sleep. I'm never going to really sleep until I find out more about myself. I'm sorry. You're right, I should try.
Let me help you upstairs.
No. Honestly, I can manage. But look, Emily, if your father does get here within the next hour, please come and get me. Right now, there's really nothing more important to me than those cards.
Nothing more important.
As you can see, Deborah is a little steamed from our meeting with Raven tonight.
Steam is not the word. I just wish I'd hit her harder.
You're lucky she did not call a cop.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, you're lucky she didn't file a charge of police brutality the way you whacked her.
Steve, do you blame me? You know she accused us of making Jamie sick? You know that's not true.
Sure, I know it's not true, and so does she, as a matter of fact. That's just the way she is. She likes to cause trouble. That's how she gets her kicks.
Now, there is an idea. Maybe you should have kicked her. She'd have remembered that every time she sat down.
I wish I'd done something. I wish I could get her on these kidnapping attempts.
Yeah, but how are we going to prove intent?
Right, and even if we could, we'd still have difficulty proving that the felony was genuine.
Never have liked Raven Swift. Then again, I don't know anyone who does.
Oh, no, I don't know. I know a few fellas who haven't exactly chased her away.
Well, yes, I suppose there are certain men that appeal to people like her.
Uh-huh. Dummies like Logan Swift.
Well, I don't think you have to be a dummy to fall for the wrong kind of a woman. And the reverse is true, too, I guess. I know I've made a couple of mistakes in my life from time to time.
You sure have.
I didn't ask you.
You're the one who brought it up.
Well, that's different.
I think, lady and gentlemen, this is where I take my leave of you. Have a nice evening, and don't arrest anybody.
Tell Star I'll see her tomorrow in class.
Right. See you tomorrow, Cal. Don't take it so hard.
Take what?
What Raven said about Jamie. What the hell, I was there too, you know, when he got sick. We didn't do anything wrong.
Look, just forget it, okay? And I'm sorry if I embarrassed you and Calvin in the restaurant.
You didn't.
Guess I shouldn't have hit her. I couldn't help it, you know, it's just an instinct. I just... Oh. Why'd she say those things about me?
Oh, so that's it. It wasn't just what she said about Jamie.
Of course it was.
No, it wasn't. As a matter of fact, you hit her after she said something about you being as feminine as the Pittsburgh Steelers or something like that, right? That's when you hit her.
We have to talk about Raven all night, huh?
Sorry. What's the matter? Deborah,
Nothing, just leave me alone.
tell me what's the matter. Come on.
I don't know. Should not let her get to me. That's exactly what she wants.
That's right. That's exactly what she wants. She wants to hurt you because you're standing right in the middle of the way of something she wants real bad. And that's Jamie.
Yeah, I think it's more than that, though. I think she's got something against every woman on the face of this earth. She just hates them on general principle.
I think you're right there. I mean, that remark she made about your femininity, that was so far off base, it's not even funny. Why, you're the most feminine woman I know in Monticello.
Stop it.
Of course, I don't know about outside of Monticello.
I am not in the mood for jokes, Mr. Guthrie.
Who is joking? I'm serious. I mean, just because you carry a badge in your purse doesn't mean you're any less a woman. You should hear the guys down in the locker room. One of these days, I'm going to have to smash some faces in, you know?
It's sweet. Though I don't know. I don't think that's the reason I'm upset.
I know. It's a lot of things. I know how you feel about Jamie. And when he got sick.
Oh, it's so awful. I miss that little guy so much. I just miss sitting there with him, you know.
Well, it'll be a couple of days. You'll be back at the job. Who knows? If our schedules coincide, maybe we'll get to work together again. How would you like that?
Yeah, like that.
Yeah? Well, maybe I'll talk to some of the guys and see if I can change shifts.
That would be nice. I enjoyed being there together with you.
Yeah. It was nice. It was like our own little family. Sort of a sample of domestic bliss, huh? Meant a lot to me. Did it affect you?
Oh, it had in its effect.
You know what I think? I think it affected you more than you realize. I think it stirred up feelings in you you don't like to admit to.
You think so, huh?
Mm-hmm. That's why Raven's remark hurt so much. I love you, Deborah. You know that, don't you?
You know how I feel about you.
Yeah. Tentative.
No, that's not what I meant. I love you too, Steve. And I want you to love me, but I cannot love you the way you want me to, on your terms.
My terms are very basic, simple. They're old-fashioned.
Yeah, well, look, I want us to be a team.
Well, then let's just do it. Let's get married. Yeah, let's just forget about career problems, responsibilities, obligations. Let's just go and do it and get married.
Steve.
Wait a minute. Listen to me. Don't think about what marriage means in the future. Let's just think about what it means now, today. Living together, sharing our apartments, our cars, our groceries, our bills, our toothbrushes, our socks. Marriage, it's not a prison. It's an institution.
Steve, now you promised
I know, I
me.
promised you I would not propose marriage until I thought you were ready. I think you're ready. So let's do it. Let's just get married. I mean, you can have your career. You can have a Jamie of your own. You can have me. And it'll be very good. I promise.
You can't sleep either? No. Oh, you look like you're having happy thoughts, though, aren't you? Yes, you are. So was I. I was thinking about a time before your daddy and I were even married. Yeah. We went on a picnic. You don't know what that is? Well, we went on one. And we found a carousel, and we went round. It's the best day of my life. Special day for your daddy, too. You know why? Because he went and bought me a present. See this? This is a carousel. This is the one your daddy gave me. It's not a pretty thought anymore. Now it's a nightmare.
Daddy. Oh, you're finally home.
Oh, I'm sorry to be so late.
Oh, did you get Kirk's fingerprint records?
Well, how did you know where I was?
Kirk and I were on the stairs when Lieutenant Curry told you about the record. Were you able to get the prints?
No, I didn't. I'm afraid not. By the time we reached the record bureau, it was too late to get a photocopy. But Gil is sending over a copy in the morning.
In the morning?
Well, surely Kirk can wait until then.
Oh, but he'll probably stay awake all night again, just like last night.
He's not doing his health any good.
But you know how important it is to him, Daddy. He needs some kind of positive proof. And I know that's exactly what his fingerprint record's going to do. Has to.
You're really sure of that, Emily? Not the slightest doubt. Even if there was, I guess you wouldn't admit it, would you?
The prints will be identical, Daddy. And then Kirk will know who he is and where he belongs. With me. With his wife.
That means a great deal to you, doesn't it?
Oh, Daddy, it means everything to me. Everything. I just couldn't bear it if I...
Don't think about it. You'll make yourself sick.
Oh, I'm not worried about myself. I'm worried about him, about his not being able to sleep.
Yes, I'm worried too, Emily. Maybe I better see if I can help the young man.
Thanks.
Come on, Emily. Everything's going to be all right.
Doctor, were you able to get the...
No, I didn't get the record print. We arrived too late. But Lieutenant Curry is sending him over tomorrow.
Tomorrow? I can't wait till tomorrow. I can't relax. I can't sleep.
I know you've had a problem sleeping, but I think I can help you. Here we go. Right here. There. Take those.
But doctor, 3 pills. Isn't that a lot?
Well, I am the doctor, remember? There you go. That's it. That's it. Now, just relax. And soon the problem will be solved.